Hi folks, and welcome back to the Travels of Red Rover. This week we're out in the Alabama hills for a very wet day of photography. In fact, it was so wet that we decided to actually head down to Lone Pine and spend the afternoon touring the Museum of Western Film History. After that, we decided to explore some new photo opportunities and show you the results. We make a quick stop in Darwin, the original gateway to Death Valley, and then head off to Badwater Basin, chasing the rain and hoping to get some interesting reflection photographs. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Buckle up and let's get going.
It's just about 20 minutes before sunset. I'm standing here in the Alabama Hills area near Lone Pine, California, on the 395 highway corridor, and just set up about 20 minutes before sunset, although I'm not sure we're going to get a lot of great sunset photography tonight. There's quite a good cloud bank behind me in the west, and I'm starting to feel a few drops of rain coming. So we'll see if we get lucky, maybe some cloud drama coming over the mountains for our evening photography. Here's my composition for the evening. I've gone with a portrait orientation, which isn't typical for me, but I like the way that the mountain in the background there is more prominent in this orientation. And we'll just see if we can get some last minute breaks in the cloud just before sunset or just after sunset.
Corinne and I arrived in the Alabama hills just shortly before sunset, so we ended up having to go a good deal faster in terms of getting set up and selecting compositions. Thankfully, I can go at least 4 times faster on the video. Here I am trying to set up, trying to get ready, and the light was changing very, very fast. So here is a series of photographs that I took over the next 10 minutes or so. So, Corinne, tell us how the morning's shaping up for morning photography, sunrise photography.
Well, we got up bright and early. Well, it wasn't bright, it was early. It's raining outside, and there's a dense layer of cloud all around us. And we're just looking out the front windshield, seeing if we're going to get any bright sunlight coming through, but it's not looking good.
Even though it was very wet, gray, and not very pleasant outside, we decided to go out for a walk. We wanted to go visit the Mobius Arch. It is one of our favorite locations in the Alabama hills, and we always enjoy seeing it even in the rain. After we returned to Red Rover from the Arch, we decided it was time to go visit the Museum of Western Film History in Lone Pine. But before we did that, we needed to stop in and say hello to this guy.
As you drive up Whitney Portal Road from Lone Pine, heading towards Alabama Hills, you'll come across this colorful character on your right-hand side.
We really enjoyed our visit to the Western Film Museum. It is extremely well laid out. They have a wonderful movie that explains much of the history of filmmaking in the area. It is definitely worth a visit. Here is a short montage of our photographs and film clips that we took during our visit. If you get in the area, please go visit. It's a wonderful stop. Next, we were off to find a new adventure. But first, we needed to stop and have some lunch at the Copper Top Barbecue. An absolutely excellent place to stop and have a little bite along the 395 corridor. We shared the Big Pine sample platter. It took us several days before we had finished all the meat. After our lunch, it was time to head back out into the wilderness, to a location not far from Big Pine. It took us about an hour before we actually reached the spot where we camped, but it was a very well kept back road, and we actually really enjoyed driving up through this beautiful area. By the time we got to our campsite, the temperature was plunging, and it was raining hard, so photography would have to wait till the next morning. A morning it was. The skies had cleared, the mountains had a fresh coat of snow, but an absolutely gorgeous morning. Corinne and I were up before the sun to do some photography on this beautiful cold morning.
We're here at the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's an early morning out for sunrise. It was really cloudy last night, so we didn't even get out for photography. It's windy both yesterday and today, so hopefully there's not too much wind noise from the microphones. And we're just catching the sun as it's hitting the top of these new snow-capped mountains. There was a lot of rain yesterday, adding some new snow up there, so it's just gorgeous.
So yes, it is a very cold day. It's an absolutely beautiful landscape, but it is definitely long underwear and several layers of heavy jackets to be out here today. And this is the shot I've been waiting for this morning. Well, we really hated leaving our absolutely beautiful camp location. We did linger for part of the morning because it was just so beautiful. But it was time to move on and find a new spot and a new adventure. So we had a great night up in the Big Pine area. It was very rainy and nasty when we got there, but and it also blew all night long. But we had a lovely morning shooting the Sierra Mountains and just an absolutely great visit. And as you can see, Corinne is driving today.
Yes, I like to do the easy parts.
That's right. So when we do some four-wheel drive driving, I tend to do those. That's because she just prefers not to, not because she doesn't want to.
And Shawn does the heavy city congestion.
Yes, I get to do the heavy city congestion, or I get to do the parts that are really windy and narrow and difficult to do. But at least with Corinne doing a lot of the highway driving, it gives me a rest while we go from one difficult spot to the next. Anyway, it should be a lovely drive back. We're heading back towards Death Valley. We're planning to spend the evening there, and it should be a lovely drive. It's an absolutely beautiful day. On our way back to Death Valley, we took a small detour down into the town of Darwin. Here are some photographs that Corinne took while we were there. This is Father Crowley Point. It's famous for the jet fighters that fly through here. And I'll actually show a picture of one here in a minute. We have visited Death Valley many times, but never managed to arrive shortly after a rainfall. We were really excited about the potential of shooting reflection shots using the water that was in the valley. Hi folks. Well, as you can probably tell, I'm seated on my three-legged stool in a mudflat, someplace in Death Valley. We had quite a bit of rain in the last couple days, so we're taking this opportunity to come and shoot some reflection shots here in Death Valley. And as you can tell, it's a bit of a wet, mucky area to be in. Before you should panic, you should know that this is an area that's all well trodden already, and that our footprints are barely noticeable in the footprints that are already here. So hopefully we're going to get some nice shots of the clouds and mountains reflecting behind me here, and we'll see how that looks. Good morning. Corinne and I are out on the Badwater Salt Flats today in Death Valley. We have about a 30-minute hike to get out to the spot we want to shoot from.
It's a lot warmer than our last photography location.
Yes, a great deal warmer than our last spot. Hi folks. So this may look like I'm sitting on a skating rink, but I'm actually sitting on a salt flat with water on it. Today we're out here photographing some reflections of the mountains in the water that's sitting on the top of the salt flat. It's interesting because salt flats actually make some interesting patterns in the reflected mountains. A lot of fun to shoot, and that's what we're going to be doing this morning.
Well, thanks for joining us on our trip for the last couple days. We've had a good time, some successful photography and some challenging weather.
It's been a great time though. It's a lot of fun actually dealing with the weather changes and dealing with the changes in types of photography. It really keeps things very interesting.
And it's been fun for us because we've tried a few new locations.
Yeah, that's actually something that we're really trying to do a lot more of, is going to some places that we've never been. And if we really get lucky, we'll go to some places where generally most photographers have never been. So for us, it could be, for us, that's a lot of fun and often quite challenging.
Thanks again, and we hope you'll join us on future videos. We're going to sign off from here, and hope you enjoyed the information and photographs.
Yep. And if you like this video and want to follow us some more, please subscribe on the buttons below. And to be notified of future videos, hit the little bell. And as always, if you liked what we do and really want to support us, please hit the like button.
And any questions and comments below, we'll try and address as soon as we can.
Yes, I love hearing from you, so and really enjoy getting comments. Even if they're just that you liked and saw the video, or that you have questions about where we are, or photography, or travels, please don't hesitate to leave the comments. So anyway, again, take care and bye for now.
Bye.